Hello everybody, it's Wednesday. It's Hump Day, July the 23rd, and we are getting ready to kick off a billfish tournament in Manteo at Pirates Cove Marina. More about that later, and I'll be back in just a moment to talk to you about all things fishing on the inner and outer banks.
Wave Runner Fishing Charters provides exceptional Outer Banks fishing trips for anglers of all experience levels. Captain Brian White's love for fishing began at age 6 and soon evolved into a lifelong passion. Located at Wanchese Marina, the Wave Runner specializes in offshore and nearshore fishing adventures, offering guests the excitement of pursuing a wide range of pelagic species. They have the best rates in town. Call today at 252-216-8350 or online at fishwaverunnerobx.com.
Boasting phenomenal seafood dishes, a great menu, and waterfront views with deck seating, Striper's Bar and Grill at the Shallowbag Bay Marina in Manteo serves a casual, fun-filled dining experience with an Outer Banks flair. With 3 floors to choose from, you're bound to find the perfect seat for you and yours while enjoying great food and fantastic drinks. To see our menu and to catch a glimpse of the beautiful views, go online to stripersbarandgrill.com. Striper's Bar and Grill at the Shallowbag Bay Marina in Manteo, where everyone's a VIP.
So the wind shifted direction a little bit today, especially for our northern beaches. That changed a lot of things. The Hatter's fleet got offshore, but it was rough. They had some good catches, though. An example would be Captain Jessie Anderson. Her boat, the Carolina girl had a kind of a tough day. They got out there and it was rough, but they hit the fish early. They caught a limited dolphin, which is like 55 or 60 dolphin or mahi. And then they hit a few wahoos, but by 10:30, they of course had a good catch already, which was thankful. They were thankful for, but the crew said, we've had enough. So they headed for shore. Basically, we call that a half a day offshore trip, but good going on them. And that was typical. Limits of dolphin, a few blackfin tuna, a few wahoo, and a few sailfish, but not the numbers we didn't have. And on the day before yesterday, we had the sea creature had 5, and Arch Bracher running down out of Oregon Inlet, running south to Hatters. He had 8 sailfish, and I think we'll see a little bit of that activity going on. In other words, a southern bite on sailfish in the tournament as it kicks off at the Dare County Boatbuilders Tournament tomorrow. I think the way to win that tournament is going to be on the sailfish bite, and I think that's what we'll see a lot of the boats doing. Oregon Inlet, very similar, mixed dolphin or mahi, some yellowfin tuna, 3 or 4 to the boat, some blackfin tuna, 3 or 4 to the boat, some sailfish. So almost identical reports. On that end, in-game Barry Daniels, in-game is his charter boat. He had 3 sailfish, so got that going on. And both of the fleets are catching red drum. There's some big schools of red drum off the beach a ways, and there's some catch and release fishing going on, which has been almost every day. And then there's some Spanish mackerel and a few big bluefish in the catches. I was talking to Ray Pugh, and he was telling, he's a friend of mine, he was telling me about going offshore on a wreck, and they got hammered by the big old school big bluefish. And so that's encouraging to me. We're seeing the big blues showing up in a lot of different places. As far as pier and surf fishing, we will have to highlight a few things. We'll do the Spotlight Pier, and the Spotlight Pier is Nag's Head Pier today. Yesterday, they had a really good Spanish mackerel bite, and they were a large class of Spanish mackerel, and they had a real good spot bite. And then they also had some other secondary stuff. They had croakers, blues, sea mullet, and all that was they attributed to the east wind. So that was all really, really good, and we're going to call that a typical, maybe a little better than average pier catch yesterday. In the surf, our spotlight area would be Avon or Hatteras Highland. Pretty decent pompano bite down there, and they've been pretty large all summer long, really. Ramp 55 was the spot where a few came from yesterday. There's Spanish mackerel down there, especially around Ramp 38 yesterday. So, but that also is typical. Almost everything on the pier and inshore reports are spot, sea mullet, croakers, and blues. And if you're rigged up with metal lures, you're going to catch some Spanish mackerel as well. So we'll take a little break right here, and I'll be right back in a minute to talk to you about a couple things. One of those will be the backcountry fishing.
Looking for adventure? Head to Pirates Cove Marina in Manio, where exciting charter fishing meets waterfront vibes. Whether you're a seasoned angler or first-timer, enjoy offshore, nearshore, and inlet trips with expert crews and quality boats. Need fuel? Pirates Cove offers diesel and non-ethanol gas. Need rods, reels, bait, tackle, and marine supplies? Pirates Cove has that too. Visit their ship store for premium sunglasses, exclusive Pirates Cove gear, and unique gifts. After your trip, relax with snacks, cold drinks, and stunning marina views. Book your charter today at fishpiratescove.com or stop by for a day of adventure, shopping, and relaxation. Catch the big one and make unforgettable memories at Pirates Cove Marina in Manio.
In the backcountry, it's been hot and cold. The trout bite is still on, but again, it's almost, I don't know really how to say it. It's not your beginner's level fishing. You got to know what you're doing. You got to be rigged up properly. And I'm not discouraging you because if you have a boat, the Sound is such a big body of water, you got to be in the right place, and that changes by the hour, literally. But there have been some decent trout bite going on, and then I heard from a good source, a real good bite on some big drum, up to and over 40 inches on live bait, and that would have been, the best way I know to describe it is south of Duck Island, which is up back of Wanchese, back below Oregon Inlet or west of Oregon Inlet a little bit. And so that bite was good. I have been hearing about some mixed drum bites. I know Gray Davis on Hide Guides, he's having to work for what he's getting, but he's posting some nice catches of trout and some nice catches of puppy drum as well. And then that's the two main things. That's not news. That's been going on every day. There's also a pretty good bite on some Taylor bluefish back in the Sound as well. The final thing is we are getting ready. Tomorrow we will kick off the Boatbuilders Tournament. We will see maybe 35 boats, maybe a few more hopefully, and they'll raise a lot of money for local scholarship students, high school and college, so that's all good. One thing that's going to be different again this year like it was last year is the lack of white marlin. Our whole fleet was built around a white marlin bite this time of year. It's just like Ocean City. And but we are really focused, as I said earlier, more on sailfish and blue marlin. So where did the white marlin go? Remember, there have been days in the Pirates Cove tournament, which is a much larger tournament, where we had 400 billfish in a day. Mostly they were white marlin. So they haven't evaporated. They're not gone. And here's why I know that. I was talking to Captain Mike Merritt yesterday, who'll be fishing all the tournaments coming up on his Spencer boat. But he was telling me he got a confirmed report, a friend of his, fishing up off New England, and I think he said Massachusetts, but way offshore. Summertime, pretty weather, and they went scouting almost like on an overnight trip. And they got out there and they saw fish breaking on little tinker mackerel. And they set out the baits and one of the boats caught 41 white marlin and one caught 51 white marlin in a single day of fishing, caught and released white marlin. So they're there. They're just way north of us, just like they were last year. And I can't tell you why, but I sure wish they'd move back down. Everything is just really different now in the migration patterns. Sometimes we benefit from that and sometimes we don't. But the tournament will be going on. It's open to the public. It's at Pirates Cove Marina. That's on the Manio Nags Head Causeway. You can come over, find you a place to park, walk the docks, and look at the nicest fleet of sport fishing boats in the world. And when you do, remember, 90% of those boats are built on Roanoke Island. Believe it or not, people come from all over the world now to get these boats. People like Michael Jordan, for instance, and others. Captains of industry. These boats run, some of them are $5, $8, $10, $12 million boats. And just really something really cool to see. And you can walk the dock, you can bid on the auction, you can watch the weigh-ins, which I'll be doing right there at the pavilion. And you just, for the tournament stuff, you've got to remember you want to be on the north side of the marina. That's the opposite of the highway side. The highway side is where the charter boats are. We're over there by the pavilion, opposite of the highway side. We're on the north side. So come on around, drive in, park legally, and come by and say hello. I'll be there every day from out there at the scales from 4 o'clock till 7 o'clock and good chance to say hello and visit. I hope you have a great day. I know I sure am, and I hope the good Lord blesses you richly.